Hi guys! Halloween is coming and today we're gonna model Zero from Nightmare Before Christmas in Blender. We can start by using a cube. I select it and I add the subdivision surface modifier with 2 levels and I apply it. Now in front view we go in edit mode by pressing Tab. We go in X-ray view by pressing Alt Z. And we select this bunch of vertices here, and with proportional editing enabled, we move it a little forward, like this. Then we move these vertices with Shift V. We move them on their edges, because we want these edges to be more rounded. Now in face selection, I select these faces here and I press E to extrude them, like this, and I move them up. We can deselect subdivision surface for now. I'm gonna fix it by scaling on the y-axis these 2 vertices. Yes. And maybe all these faces. I select everything and I press S, Y. And I scale on the y-axis. I press E again to extrude and I go on scaling. Before I go any further, I press with the right mouse button and I choose Shades Mode. Then I assign a new subdivision surface. Okay. It's quite good, but we have to make it a little more thinner. And I think I'm gonna extrude just one more time these faces here. Okay, this is the nose. Now we're gonna select these faces down here instead. But first, let's move them like this with Shift V. Let's move some vertices to make also these edges a little more cubed. Okay. Now we can select these 4 faces here, connected to this part, and we can press E again to extrude. The process is exactly the same. Okay, now we have created the mouth. Okay, now we can create the body. To create the body, first we're gonna add a new cube. So I add a new subdivision surface modifier and apply it. I'm gonna move these vertices like this and then maybe move them a little. No, with Control R I add a new edge loop like this. And these ones here, maybe a little scaled. Okay, we can try to with something like this. This is not the actual body of 0. The actual body will be a plane, so I press Shift A and I add a new plane. I make it bigger and I position it like here. Okay. I add the subdivision surface modifier. This time we need many vertices, so let's try with 3 and apply. No, we don't have enough vertices, so I add another subdivision surface. Let's try like this. Okay, now we probably have enough vertices. I'm gonna scale it just a little bit more. So basically we are gonna add a cloth simulation to this plane and a collision property to this body. So when we activate the simulation, this plane is gonna fall and he's gonna find this collision object and he is gonna basically be wrapped around it. So let's try it. First of all, I select the body and I choose collision, and then I select my plane and I choose cloth. We're probably gonna try a few values before we actually find the ones that fits for our character. So first of all, here I'm gonna try with 12 quality steps, and then I'm gonna go here in collisions. I'm gonna choose 10. I reduce the distance. I enable self-collision. Okay, let's see if I press play, what happens. Okay, first of all, we can choose Shades Mode again. Okay, I don't like it very much. I want it to be more realistic, so I go back to frame 1. And I'm probably gonna add a new subdivision surface and apply it. Now we have many more vertices. Let's see how it goes. Yes, yes. Let's see. Let's choose the correct frame. Okay, to something like this we can stop. We can add a new subdivision surface if you want, just to make it a little more smoother, but in this case we don't apply it. I'm satisfied with this simulation, but I'm gonna just adjust this plane just a little to have something that it's more similar to Zero's body. Okay, now I'm actually really satisfied. I just scaled it a little on the y-axis and now it works much better. So now we are gonna apply the cloth because we don't need it anymore, and then we're gonna edit the vertices of this plane to make some small adjustment that will make it look like the real Zero. So I apply my cloth, and as you can see, nothing happens anymore. So first of all, I am gonna use the proportional editing. Of course, we can delete the fake body because we don't need it anymore. And I'm gonna move these vertices up like this. To create a neck. And also we're gonna scale them on the y-axis. Okay. Then here, Zero has a tail, which is like a zigzag here. So first of all, I'm gonna select these vertices. So first of all, I'm gonna select a few vertices and move them like this. Rotate them because they have to point in this direction, like this. Now I just move these vertices here up just a little. I want it to be a little more curved. Okay, like this. And now we can select these edges here and basically extrude them to create the tail. With these edges selected, I press SZ0 to flatten them like this. Now it's easier to rotate them and extrude them. Okay, now we are gonna create his pose. It's very simple. We just delete some faces here, these faces here, like this. We select these three vertices and we scale them to make them closer. Okay. And now we are just gonna select a few vertices here and curve them. These are actually his pose. Okay, so basically all I had to do was select the vertices and rotate them and scale them, move them around until they look a little more like pose. And I think I'm gonna select a bunch of edges here and extrude them too. Yes. Okay, let's see how the body looks like with the solidify modifier. Yes, I think it's way better. We have some thickness now. Let's move it to first. Yes, really lovely. Okay, now the ears. It's a very easy part to do. I just add a path curve here. I position it where I want. And then I'm gonna move the vertices. You know that you can go in edit mode always pressing tab. I move the vertices and I extrude them with E to create these waves, these characteristic ears. Okay, maybe just a little too big. I press Shift S and I choose cursor to select it, and then I change the origin to 3D cursor, and now I can rotate my ear more easily. I duplicate it with Shift D. Okay. Now we're gonna add the thickness, and we are gonna add a rectangle. Let's choose 3D. In case you don't have a rectangle here, it's probably because you don't have in your preferences, you don't have enabled the add curve extra objects add-on. So in this case, just enable it. Okay, so I select one of my ears. I go here in the curve properties, and in geometry I choose bevel as object, and I select my object, which is the rectangle. Now we can edit our rectangle, scaling it on the y-axis, on the x-axis, until we have something that looks really good. Okay. Like this is quite good. Now we can just, I want this part to be smaller, so I'm gonna scale this vertex. You have to press Alt S, but I'm gonna press Alt 1 because I changed my shortcuts. You can also enable proportional editing. Okay. You can delete this other here and duplicate the one that we have already created. Now the last two details, that are the eyes and the pumpkin. So for the eyes, I think I'm gonna use the knife tool, so I press K, and here I'm gonna create many more vertices like this. And now I'm gonna connect them to the near vertices, just so that we don't have some weird faces. Okay. So first of all, let's add a simple material to the head. And now I'm gonna create a new slot with a black material. And I'm gonna add this new material to this eye here. Okay, so with Ctrl R, I'm gonna add a new edge loop here. I'm gonna select this new loop of faces, and I'm gonna assign the black material to it too. Okay. And now I just have to move a few vertices to adjust my eye, make it look really rounded. But I also want to move it a little more toward the center of the head, like this. Yes, better. Okay, to make the left eye, I'm just gonna go here in the top view by pressing 7. And basically, we are gonna delete half of our head. So let's look and see if we're missing any vertices, but I don't think so. Okay, and we simply delete these vertices. Now be sure that your origin is here in the middle, and now you can add a mirror modifier, but choose the Y axis, and then we're gonna move it to first. Okay, as you can see, we have many problems here. So in edit mode, I'm gonna select all these vertices here at the center. First of all, I'm gonna press SY0 to flatten them on the y-axis, and then, just to be sure, I'm gonna enable clipping and I'm gonna move them a little forward. Okay, to make them collide with the other vertices on the left side. So now we shouldn't have any more problems, and in fact we have a perfectly symmetric face. Okay, now with Shift A we add a circle and we position it here on the neck. We scale it just a little. And here in properties we extrude the geometry like this. Okay, now I suggest you to convert the curve into a mesh. And now you can add a solidify modifier to make it thicker. And you can also add a subdivision surface modifier. The shortcut to add it is Ctrl+1. And in case you add the subdivision surface modifier, it's probably better to add some edge loops like this. Okay, now the last step is create the pumpkin nose. So to do it, we start from a sphere. But here in this menu, it's better to choose 33 segments. Now we move it aside, we choose shades mode as always, and we go in the top view. Okay, now you have to select one ring of vertices and skip 2 rings in between. Like this, you select this one. Okay, now that you have your vertices selected, we're gonna scale them toward the inside of the object, but we are gonna use proportional editing, just a little bit of proportional editing enabled, like this. Now I can press S to scale. Okay. I release, and now I press Ctrl B to do a little bevel. Okay, something very subtle like this. You can also add some segments if you want, but I don't think it's necessary. So we can just leave it like this. Let's see. Okay, very good. we can also add a subdivision modifier. And now it's just a matter of selecting these vertices here and moving them down like this, because a real pumpkin is a little flat on the top and on the bottom. So we do the same here on the bottom. Perfect. Now we select this face here and we can deselect proportional editing and extrude it like this. Okay, now we just have to create the face of the pumpkin. So I'm gonna select these faces here. Actually, I'm gonna rotate it a little like this. And now I'm gonna delete these faces to create the eyes. And you can move the vertices up or on the left to make them more, to make it look more evil. For the mouth, I'm gonna use a knife tool. So I press K and basically here I connect these vertices and I connect them here too. No, sorry, I connect them here too. Okay. Now we can delete all these faces here and we can just move some vertices up. Or you can leave it symmetrical, it's up to you. This is gonna be very, very small in our 3D models, so you don't have to spend too much time working on it. Okay, let's add a solidify modifier. Okay, now we can scale our pumpkin and move it here where the nose should be. Maybe it's better to make it a little more rounded here on the bottom. And that's it. So now I'm gonna let you see very quickly how to shape this pumpkin. We are gonna create an orange material and the green material here for this part. But since we want it to be illuminated from the inside, we add a new sphere here inside our pumpkin. Okay. And we assign a new material to this sphere, which is gonna be an emission material. Obviously, we choose a yellow-orange color. We increase very, very much the strength. Maybe too much. Let's see, yes. A little too much. Let's see, with 100. Yes, 100, it's really, really fine. Now our sphere is illuminating the pumpkin from the inside, as you can see. Okay guys, this is the final result of our zero. Let's see it rendered. I like it really much. I think it's really cute. And now I'm gonna show you quickly the materials I used and the lights. So actually the materials are really simple. Okay, just a white color for the body, and the black color for the eyes and the inside of the mouth, and the red color with a bit of specularity for the color. I already showed you how to create the materials for the pumpkin, and this is it. But the most important thing are the lights in this case. So Zero is always surrounded by this halo of light, and I tried to recreate it by using two area lights, really big and really strong, here behind him. And then I used another area light here in the front, and another one here, pink. Then I used two point lights, one here to illuminate the face, and one here to slightly illuminate the body. And my render settings are, well, this is gonna be rendered in Eevee, and I enabled ambient occlusion. Bloom is very important. I increased the threshold just a little bit, but I wanted to have this glow effect, so I leave it the bloom. And then screen space reflections. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and in case you did, please like it and subscribe, because it really helps me to going on with this project. And in case you recreate this adorable Zero, please tag me, because I love to see your artworks and to share them on my pages. And yes, let's have a spooky Halloween, and we're gonna see each other again in the next tutorial. Bye!